With new discoveries pertaining to happiness becoming a common occurrence and the barriers to entry to success constantly being lowered due to technology, our happiness, more than ever before, is in our own hands. Of course, it's not all pretty. There are awful events and instances that throw even the most fortitudinous people off balance. There are times when the inevitable pain, suffering, and hopelessness will draw away from your overall happiness, sometimes for extended periods of time. Fear, poverty, death, physical, and mental illness often can't be fully compensated for in the form of understanding philosophy, acceptance, and mental audacity. This is important to keep in mind as you watch this video. Past the inevitable and uncontrollable lows us as humans will face throughout our lives, there seems to be a world inside us that is always suffering, even if our overall circumstances are comparably good. This suffering can lead us, and even the most successful individuals, to cherry-picking negative emotions to bring to the surface, leading to greed, a victim mentality, depression and anxiety, hatred and envy, self-sabotage, addiction, and even suicide, all when we should be enjoying the present moment that we are living in. But there's one aspect still missing: the fact that the good makes way for the bad, and the bad events in life make the good ones possible. The two provide life, and without one of them, all emotions aside from our baseline would cease to exist. Our baseline level of happiness and the forces that create and maintain it should also not go unappreciated, as without it, there would be complete and total chaos. Yes, this is the force that returns you to normalcy after an amazing life event, but it is also the force that returns you to normalcy after a tragedy, the force that makes you see clear again after some time, at the event of a loved one passing. For every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness. Most people have either heard this quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson or a quote that contains a similar meaning. However, this may be the wrong approach. This quote leads many to focus, or more commonly obsess, over their levels of happiness throughout each day. Constantly thinking, "Am I happy right now?" can actually have the opposite effect on your overall long-term happiness level, especially with activities that involve delayed gratification. Here's an example. You've always dreamed of being wealthy, and so you decide to go and start a business. Starting a business can be quite difficult and tedious, as you need a large combination of the following: startup capital, a vision, a roadmap, an invention, an idea or model that almost 8 billion other individuals haven't thought of and moved forward with, trustworthy business associates, automation systems. You get the idea. If you're in the process of starting up a business and you're always thinking, "Is this making me happy?" logic states that you aren't going to get very far, as this way of thinking only touches on the present moment. It completely alienates the future results and consequences of your present actions, and that's something that you obviously want to avoid doing. Truly becoming happier is clouded by so much in our daily lives. Temptations are everywhere. To believe that the future will be filled with nothing but joy, beauty, success, courage, and positivity if we just work a little harder on something or just pay a little bit more attention to something else. These temptations come in the forms of advertising, music, literature and fine art, video content, and our friends, our family, our culture, all alluding to the false perception that this moment is not enough. Here's one of my favorite quotes about happiness by the great David Foster Wallace. "If you worship money and things, if they are where you tap real meaning in life, then you will never have enough. Never feel that you have enough. Worship your own body and beauty and sexual allure, and you will always feel ugly, and when time and age start showing, you will die a million deaths before they finally plant you." The trick is actually keeping the truth up front in daily consciousness. Worship power, and you will feel weak and afraid, and you will need ever more power over others to keep the fear at bay. Worship your intellect, being seen as smart. You will end up feeling stupid, a fraud, always on the verge of being found out, and so on. So what may seem counterintuitive at first glance may be the truth. Being happier is a little easier than you think.